Whoa. What's up, guys? Justin here, down in the Narragansett Pier. It's starting to get nice out, and today I want to talk a little bit about isolation and loneliness and how that applies to making the big changes, getting through the big challenges in your life. And the reason I'm out here for this video is because getting out in the world, being around a lot of people, it's a huge thing. We're going to touch on it. And you know, a lot of times getting through these big challenges that we have in life, especially ones that we've failed at several times and we haven't found the path through the woods, right? We have to find the way, and a lot of times that way is not what we expect, and we tend to make things harder on ourselves without realizing it. So how do we make things easier? We're going to get right into it. Hope you guys enjoy this today, so let's get rolling. In today's world with, you know, online social media, so much connectivity that happens non-face-to-face, right? Non in the flesh. And when we get into that mode, a lot of times we can withdraw a lot from local interactions, from human to human contact, and it really affects us mentally. There's been a number of studies on this recently, TED Talks even, on what happens to the brain and what happens to people's lives with loneliness. It can cut your life short, just being a really lonely person, and it's one of those things that we need human to human contact, and we can't replace that with what we do online, what we do to connect to people in different countries, or just, you know, Facebook messaging, Twitter, whatever it is. So when you isolate yourself, a lot of times you can't take on challenges, and it's one of those things that in the science of habit creation, the science of change, it's a vital element to have other people around you and to have the right kinds of people with the right habits around you to make the changes you want to make. What this means is, if you go at something alone, or if you just go after something and say, I'm just going to will myself into this new habit, or I'm going to will myself into losing weight, for instance, right? It's not going to just work. And if it does work for you, and if you're successful, good on you, because you just took the hard route and you did it anyways. But life isn't about taking the hard route. Life's hard enough. Life is so difficult in making changes sometimes that we want to do things as easy as we possibly can, and that's how our brain is programmed anyways. It's to find the easiest route to the solution. So it only makes sense to actually do that in practice. So what does that mean? So if we're trying to lose weight, and what we do is we are at home a lot and we're isolated a lot, we're not around people, and we know what we have to do. It's no secret, right? You have to eat a certain way, eat healthy foods, eat more vegetables, you have to exercise, you have to get out and move, right? But that's a lot easier said than done, because just the fact that you're overweight means that you're not already doing those things, and that your entire lifestyle, how it's been built up, whether that's from how you were raised, you know, the people you've met during school, high school, college, whatever it is, whatever habits you have in your life have created the result of you're overweight. So if you're trying to lose weight, then you have to change a lot of things around your environment. And without doing that, you're kind of still stuck in whatever your natural tendencies will be. And you're going to keep reverting back to your natural tendencies unless you make drastic measures to really say, okay, this is serious now. You know, this is my health, this is my entire life. I only get this chance once. I'm going to do everything I have to do, whether that's, you know, making a concerted effort to be out more, to be like, I'm going to go for a jog, you know, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, every day, whatever it is. You make that concerted effort to do it, and don't try to do it alone, because it'll only make things harder and harder for you, and it will be more miserable when you have those days when you don't feel like doing it, you have nobody to pick you up. It's just a horrible way to go about it if you're really trying to make it happen. We tend to be the center of our own universe, and we tend to think we're the only ones out there dealing with what we're dealing with, when in reality there are probably hundreds, thousands. For especially the biggest problems are the problems, like the problems that you think are the biggest in your life are likely problems that other people have huge problems with as well. The way we're experiencing it is more intense than the way other people experience it because we feel the pain and we don't feel the pain of other people. So this is a human tendency, and what this does is it just invites us to stay in isolation, to not seek out people who are going through the same things or people who have gone through it and came out the other end successful in changing their lifestyle, changing their habits. And what this means basically for you is that if you're going through a struggle like that, which every human being pretty much is at any given moment, it's just a matter of, perspective and how difficult the challenge is. But everyone's going through something difficult. So whatever you've been through, if it's somewhat of a common problem, and even if it's not, there are people out there, and probably even groups of people out there, that are meeting and battling, getting through that challenge, and there are people that have gotten through it successfully. So these are the people you want to reach out to. You want to make sure you're doing this because this is the most important thing that you could do, even more so than setting up a strategy to, make things happen, what you have to do day to day. It's even more important that the people around you are people that are going to enable the good behaviors, because the environment you're already in isn't working. The people around you, whatever it is around you, isn't helping you make the change you want. And this is especially true if you've tried and have failed at making a change. So look at that environment, look at the people around you, making sure that they're people who have already gone through the change and have successfully come out the other side, or they're people who are going through the same thing as you are, and you can help support each other. Because there's going to be tough times, there's going to be bad days, there's going to be things where you just want to lie down and just give up sometimes, and that's not a reflection on you, that's just a reflection of, things are hard. And it's not going to just be super easy to just get through something in your life that's super important. Something like health, your weight, your mindset, your social circles. Like, these things are very important, and they're not things that are going to change overnight. So it's so important that you have people around you that are going to enable that change. Make it as easy on yourself as possible. Don't rely on your willpower. Don't rely on your ability to consistently show up. You're gonna obviously plan on doing that, but you're also gonna plan for what happens when I have a hard day. How can I make sure that I'm doing the right things, and how can I make sure that I have it set up so that I have people I can reach out to? And those people might be already in your life, but a lot of times, if things, like I said, things aren't working, those people you have to go out and find. Finding people who are going to help you in your journey, whatever that is really just about reconnecting and to just letting yourself go. Getting into places in the world where there's a high volume of people so that you can just practice socially, practice just being vulnerable sometimes. You don't want to go out and share your problems with the world. Nobody, that's not a very attractive thing for people to have as friends, but you want to be able to not fake it and not hide and pretend like everything's fine in your life, because people know, nobody's perfect, nobody's completely happy with everything in their life, and just to say that everything's good with you is just one of those indicators that this person's maybe a little full of BS, or this person is just delusional or whatever. And if you can just speak openly, be like, yeah, you know what, my life's not perfect, but I'm working on it, that's a lot more real for people. And you can start to engage in conversations like that with people, and seek out people who are doing the same thing. Don't instead of seeking out people who just say they have everything figured out, and in doing that, you can really open up and get more real relationships, and that's super necessary when you're trying to make huge changes. And to have people around you that are people who are honest with themselves, really. I mean, it's one thing to sort of hold back and not want to, open yourself up to people sometimes and be vulnerable. That's very scary for a lot of people, but at least make sure the people around you are being honest with themselves, and that they're people who want to change, they want to grow. And it's not changing themselves, right? It's changing different patterns and habits in their life that aren't ultimately where they want to get to, or the kind of person that they want to be. and just acknowledging that.